The Dark Ether. No, not that one. Yes, that one is probably extremely confusing to any new players who may be interested in joining the Cold War Zombies community. No, in fact, you might have scrolled through complicated but very well done documents attempting to explain this entire storyline and probably didn't understand a thing. Don't worry, I'm going to try my best to explain the bare essentials you need to know to understand where the story is going to go in Black Ops Cold War. This magnificent story starts with the creation of the universe. This is done by the beings known as Keepers. These beings created the universe with something called the Summoning Key in a place called Agartha. Agartha is a place that exists outside the multiverse and is a literal frickin' house. Get it? To run through it all again, the universe is created by Keepers. They create the universe with an artifact called the Summoning Key. They do all this in Agartha, a place outside of the known universe. These Keepers, however, split into two groups. There was an evil group that's led by a Keeper called the Shadow Man. I know, it's a cool name. The Shadow Man discovered something called the Dark Ether. From my understanding, the best way to define the Dark Ether is to think of it as another dimension of sorts, a literal and metaphorically dark one that just corrupts individuals. Frustratingly enough, there's also just a normal non-dark ether. This ether just gives people the power to control zombies, and any individual can use the dark ether to gain the power to control the normal ether, and therefore control zombies. While this is the main information I could find from the wiki and Reddit, except for, the confusing shit on various Reddit threads, there has to be a better way to understand this. I came up with my own definition after reading up on what people believed the ether was in the past, both from a mythological and a classical sense. Mythologically, the ether was a primordial Greek deity. He was the personification of the upper sky, and embodies the pure upper air that only the gods can breathe. However, in medieval times, people believed that the ether was what filled the universe past the earth, the sun, and the moon. Both beliefs shared one common fact, that the ether was some sort of universal special medium that was of utmost significance and, holiness? Not really sure what would be suitable there. Assuming that Treyarch was influenced by the preconceptions of ether, we can create a decent hypothesis. Again, this is my hypothesis as a semi-casual player. I could be completely wrong, but I believe that the ether is meant to be some sort of energy that exists on a universal scale. The Summoning Key is an artifact that can manipulate the ether to do incredible stuff such as teleport. Zombies are also essentially powered by the ether. To this regard, the Dark Ether would be similar. This doesn't explain how people can exist in the Dark Ether, assuming it's similar to normal ether, which is just energy. However, looking at some promo pictures of Black Ops Cold War, we can clearly see the players moving in some dark space with floating jellyfish and floating tanks. This is clearly the Dark Ether. Therefore, we can presume that there is a universe to the opposite of the normal universe, and that this opposite universe is composed of this dark ether medium/energy instead of just normal ether. Again, this is all fiction and extrapolations, but it makes sense to me and hopefully to all of you. Die Maschine therefore probably has us go back and forth to the dark ether and back to the normal ether in order to progress the Easter egg quests and discover some more story tidbits. Now, pivoting from this and back to the main story, we're just left with the evil keepers such as the Shadow Man, having a massive battle with the good keepers, where the good keepers win and banish the evil keepers to the dark ether for thousands of years. During these thousands of years, the evil keepers would get even more corrupted and would morph into tentacle freaks called the Apothicons. That is the intro to the zombies storyline. Now, don't worry, we can summarize essentially the entire middle part and go all the way to the final map of Black Ops 4, where the corrupted keepers have escaped the Dark Ether and messed up the multiverse. But our human heroes, with the most important being a former Nazi villain turned hero named Richtofen, have gained the Summoning Key and then proceeded to destroy it, therefore throwing the multiverse with the corrupted keepers back into the Dark Ether. All our heroes, except for Kid Samantha and Kid Richtofen, don't question why there's another kid version of him, die so that there is only one universe, and the two children now go to the only universe left, the one Cold War Zombies is based in. To recap, the universe is composed of ether, some sort of energy that powers zombies and the summoning key. It has an opposite dark version called Dark Ether that exists in an opposite dark dimension. The evil keepers turned into tentacle monsters due to corruption from this dark ether after getting banished to it. These now tentacle dark keepers escape and cause havoc in the multiverse. Our human heroes find the summoning key that created the universe and destroy it, which sends the evil keepers back to the dark ether. Only Kid Samantha and Kid Richtofen survive from the previous story and presumably end up in the only universe left, the one set in Black Ops Cold War. So what exactly does this mean for you? Well, in Cold War, previous villains such as the Shadow Man or other evil keepers can come back, as they were banished to the Dark Ether at the end of Black Ops 4. We also know that adult Samantha is in this game, but the now adult Richtofen is most likely somewhere here too, which is so exciting. Alright, phew, that was a doozy. Treyarch is clearly trying to end the overcomplication and bring new players in. Hope that made sense if you're new, and I'm so excited to have you experience the wonder that is zombies. This video took a lot of time to make, so if you enjoyed it, please slap that sub button. It genuinely means the world to me, and each sub grows this channel by a lot. This is my first proper YouTube video, so feedback would be amazing. I'm so excited for Cold War, it's gonna be incredible.